All right, good morning. Just before 3 o'clock, tornado warning has just been issued for Galveston, so I want to zoom in and show you this. Intense line of thunderstorms. Good news is it's moving pretty quickly. So here's the thunderstorm warning in yellow, tornado warning in pink. Notice the tornado warning is very small, so it is a concentrated area, but there is likely enough rotation that this thing could be very close to or possibly putting a tornado on the ground. So I want to zoom into this location. Again, this is going to be just south of the Gulf Freeway, okay, just south of Texas City and League City. Look at the winds out of this. You see how bright those colors are. Those are winds right now in excess of 60 or 70 miles per hour. We also have winds in the green moving towards the radar site of 20 to 30. So gate to gate, if you add that up, that's at least 100-mile-an-hour winds right here. So not to Galveston yet, but if you're in Galveston, loud thunderstorms, the wind is picking up. This tornado pocket potentially right here where the rotation is just south of Santa Fe. That's going to be moving just south east of Texas Highway 6 as that moves towards the coastline. Again, here's Galveston, okay? You're about 5 miles to the east of this tornado area, possibly right here. This pocket where there could be rotation right near Santa Fe. There's also another pocket where it looks like things are really strengthening right here, just to the east of Liverpool. So the good thing in all this is it's almost to the coast. But the unfortunate thing is, since Galveston's right here is such a populated area right here, that looks pretty strong for the indication of at least possibly a tornado. Maybe even at this point, I might venture to say that could be closing into maybe even something on the ground. The problem here is our clouds are so low to the ground that if things really spin up, you could get something that touches down for a few seconds, maybe even 30 seconds, maybe even a minute, and that's enough to do damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some of the velocities here. We're going to show you where this is headed. Again, tornado warning. This is going to include Galveston. It is moving towards very populated areas. You can see it right there. I mean, those wind speeds are very, very fast. So right in here, I'm sampling winds, what could be in excess of now 90 miles per hour as that's moving towards, it looks like the coastline. Now, the way you can tell this is up to 90, almost 100-mile-an-hour winds is just since this update started, it has really soared towards the east. So again, this is almost to the coastline, but I really want to watch Galveston closely as this northern pocket right here looks like there is significant rotation right there. So as this whole area moves to the east, two possible areas of rotation where we could see a possible brief spin-up tornado. Again, just south of Texas Highway 6. Very loud, potent thunderstorm here. Hail could be up to the size of quarters. I don't think it is, maybe pea and marble size, but very strong winds here. The National Weather Service stating that they think that this probably is a tornado warning that is warranted, and perhaps we could have one down. Again, here's the area in this pink polygon, very tiny, just south of the Gulf Freeway, moving towards Galveston. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for everybody right along the coastline, but that tornado warning is substantial. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to it. As we zoom in, again, that rotation looks like the good news. It's almost to the coast, but it is just south of Texas 6 now, and wind speeds could be in excess of 90 to 100 miles per hour. So even if it doesn't produce something that touches down, again, understand these winds right along the edge here are very, very intense, but it's almost to the coastline. So heavy winds just east of Liverpool now, south of Santa Fe. Let's zoom in closer to Galveston, and I'm going to show you exactly where this is headed now as it is moving towards the south and east. So it looks like it is going, if there is any rotation just south and east of Santa Fe, it looks like it will probably miss Galveston just to the south. You can see it right there. So there's the area where we'd be watching. And meteorologist Travis Herzog's in here sampling the winds here. Looks like we've got 60. What are the inbound winds? So 40, 30, 40? 47. So what Travis is just showing me here is that these winds are probably around 60 to 62, 63 miles an hour. These winds, the green air, remember that the green color in here is winds moving towards the radar almost to 50 miles an hour. So if you add them together, 60 to 50 miles an hour could be around 110. So again, the heavy winds look to be right in this area, right there, where there could be a little bit of rotation near the ground. Here is Galveston. So it looks like if this continues on its current track, that may miss Galveston just towards the south. So watching this closely, if it does change track, again, you're still in the tornado warning, so go ahead and be in a safe place, low central part of a sturdy building or your home, away from exterior windows and walls, should be okay as this moves pretty quickly towards the coastline. But tornado warning continues. This is going to go until 3:15 here, so not too much longer. We're going to be watching this closely to see where this goes. Another 12 minutes or so, give or take here. Let's zoom out and show you the wider picture just so you can see everything that's going on. There's that tornado warning. It includes Texas City, right along the Gulf Freeway, points south Texas Highway 6. You can see the severe thunderstorm warning in the yellow here includes the rest of our Gulf counties, right along San Luis Pass down towards Freeport, Lake Jackson. So that's going to be just Galveston County, Bayou Vista, Hitchcock right there for the tornado warning. Let's zoom in one more time. There you go. So there it is. Looks like the rotation now right here. This could be a strong rotation right here, just west of Jamaica Beach right there. But the good news, again, that's right near the coastline. So winds in excess of at least 60 or 70 miles an hour on the leading edge. Could see some spinning, some rotation that could add up to about 100 miles an hour. So right along the leading edge here, if you're anywhere right along the coast, make sure you're finding a safe place, interior room, bathroom, away from exterior windows or walls as this storm continues to move through. Let's zoom out and show you the entire area again one more time. Strong system moving through. The main line, the heavy line of storms is almost all the way through. So that's good news. Beaumont, you still have the main line approaching you, but for the rest of us, we're getting a brief break before more rain starts to approach from the west here. And again, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings continue, 1 tornado warning. This goes for just about another 10 minutes or so that we're watching pretty closely here. So let's go ahead and sample some of this. Any new updates there that you see?
Severe thunderstorm watch just canceled.
Okay, so they've canceled. Right, little good news, severe thunderstorm watch canceled. And this, again, as this main line moves towards the coastline, it looks like we'll see that's the main intensities. This rain is probably going to come close to the morning commute back to the back here, but not as much lightning, not as much thunderstorm activity there. So again, tornado warning continues until 3:15. This is a very small part of Galveston County. Let's go back to the velocities and see exactly where this is. So, again, let's check and see where everything is right at this moment. The rotation, again, looks like there's some substantial rotation right in there and right in here just west of Jamaica Beach. But if you look at Galveston, it looks like this is going to be just a few miles southwest of Galveston here. So right in here, about 10 miles west-southwest of Galveston, and it is moving more southeast than it is east. So again, it does look like this might miss just to the south of Galveston, given where this tornado warning is now. That warning will expire in about 10 minutes here. So watching that very closely as we continue here, that tornado warning. Let's go back and show you the severe thunderstorm warning. This main line from Freeport up through Texas City, Crystal Beach, continues to move towards the east. Chambers County as well, severe thunderstorm warning. This severe thunderstorm warning also mentions that a tornado is possible. So even though there's not a tornado warning, could see a brief spin up, maybe some heavy winds along the leading edge of this, up near Winnie, Anahuac, Bolivar Peninsula now, Smith Point, Crystal Beach. So again, heads up with the strong thunderstorm as it moves through. We're going to stick with this tornado warning here as this continues to move towards the coastline. So you can see the winds really picking up there, and I really think the winds are picking up almost more straight line winds now out of this, less of a rotational threat. Earlier it looked like there was a chance of a brief spin up, perhaps right in there, just south of Texas City, if there is a spot now to keep a close eye on. Let's see, right in here, looks like we're sampling some pretty heavy winds. Let's take a look at what those winds are right in that area. Again, it looks like winds are pretty strong. Could see winds up 60 miles per hour, maybe 70 in some spots. Let's take a look. Again, right in there, what is that? Just south of Texas City, just south of the Gulf Freeway there, 84 miles an hour, 81, wow. So 79, you could see those. And then what are our inbound winds here on that? So 80 mile an hour winds. So even if it's straight line winds, we're talking 80 plus miles per hour as this leading edge pushes through. There you go. So again, right in there, that looks pretty substantial, don't you think? That could be something right there. So winds in excess of 80, 85 miles an hour here. What are our inbound winds right in there as that continues? Minus 12, minus 9. So gate to gate, we're maybe nearing 90 to 100 miles per hour right in here. So if there's a spot of rotation here, it could be potentially, it looks like it is moving southeast, might be swinging just a little bit as that main couplet right there. Yeah, mainly south and east. I think this is moving south and east, just north of Jamaica Beach again. Maybe we could put a track on that. and see where this is headed as that moves towards the south and east. Again, tornado warning here for another 7 minutes as this storm is right in central and eastern parts of Galveston County, putting a track on the main area where the rotation is the strongest, right in there. Looks like it'll be near Tiki Island here by about 3:14 or thereabouts, 3:19 Moody Gardens, and then 3:21 Galveston. If it does continue on this, and it might eclipse southern parts of Galveston right there. As you can see, that couplet, that looks pretty good. It looks stronger than it did just a few moments ago. So we're going to keep it and see where this goes here as this nears the coastline. Again, tornado warning until 3:15. That rotation has only gotten stronger since we've been on here. When they first issued the warning only about 8-9 minutes ago, the rotation was quite a bit weaker. So it has picked up right here. Also seen another area where there may be some inflow and some rotation just west of Jamaica Beach. So a couple of spots to watch here. Heavy winds approaching Texas City as well, but probably straight line winds for you in Texas City at this point. So we're going to wait and see where the next update comes through as this approaches Tiki Island, perhaps Galveston. You're going to be on the very northern sides of this rotation where it is now. Travis is popping up some wind speeds there for us, 70 miles an hour. There's our next radar update. Looks like it looks like it's kind of coming down a little bit in terms of the rotation. Travis agrees here. Looks like that's more straight line winds now. So a frame ago, the last radar scan, we saw it looked like it was a little more rotating. It looked like it had a little more spin to it. Now it looks like it's kind of bowing out. So strong straight line winds nonetheless. We're talking 80 miles an hour plus. So stay away from exterior windows and walls. Central portion of your home. Definitely don't want to be outside in this. 80 miles an hour, 82. So that looks like it is now pushing into more of a straight line wind threat. So my guess would be that perhaps they opt to let this tornado warning expire here in just about 5 minutes. But we're going to see what they do with this. Again, just south of Bayou Vista, south of the Gulf Freeway. Just south of the Gulf Freeway. There's probably heavy winds right on 45 in Galveston County right now, Gulf Freeway. So latest track on the leading edge of the 80+ mile-an-hour winds as it's headed toward the coastline. Looks like Tiki Island 313 now, State Park 315, Moody Gardens 318, Galveston at 319, Pleasure Pier at 320. So it is moving very fast. You know those winds are pretty heavy when you're seeing those speeds on there. So again, good news is looks like the rotation has come down in the last scan. We're going to see where this goes from here. Rotation has come down, straight line winds now in this storm as it continues to push towards the east and southeast. Tornado warning goes for another 4 minutes here. That's the only spot that's under a tornado warning. Notice Harris County, other spots are not under a tornado warning. We had that earlier one just west of Alvin, just north of Rose Sharon. That is not in effect anymore. Just severe thunderstorm warnings that include Chambers, Galveston counties, and they mentioned a tornado possible. But we're watching this spot just because it's just west of Galveston. Just want to be sure that does not move into those heavily populated areas there. But the good news is looks like the rotation has come down. Wind speeds are still very strong though. So even though it doesn't look like it is producing a tornado at this time, wind speeds could be in excess of 80 miles per hour along the leading edge here, right near Tiki Island, right south of the Gulf Freeway. So again, time right now is 3:11, just under 4 minutes to go on this warning. And we're going to wait for our next scan to come through here in just a moment and see what happens with this. If either the rotation kind of strengthens or if straight line winds push out some more. Again, the latest samplings we had on this were 80+ mile-an-hour winds. And this tiny section where there could be some rotation close to the ground because the clouds are very close to the ground as we start. Looks like it's just west of Tiki Island here. And that's our latest update. 66 miles an hour. Looks like things have come down just a bit. 77, so not quite the height of the numbers we were seeing earlier. We're seeing some 80s in there, so down to the 60s and 70s. That leading edge continues to punch towards the east. Again, there's your tornado warning. It does include Tiki Island. It doesn't include actual Galveston at this point, but it's just to your west. So we do want to see where this leading edge does go here as we go through the next few minutes. Let me know if there are any Weather Service updates, Travis, if they're talking about this.
They just extended the warning to 3:30.
Okay, so Travis, meteorologist Travis Herzog is in here saying they just extended the tornado warning until 3:30, and there you go. So that does include Galveston now, doesn't it? That is going to include Galveston. There you go. So people affected up to 56,000. They've gone ahead and opted to extend this tornado warning until 3:30. You were seeing the rotation information here live as we were watching it. So here are the updates on the information. Travis is giving this to me now. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Tiki Island, right where we were just seeing that rotation there. 7 miles southeast of Hitchcock, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Again, looks like it'll be near Galveston Island West End, Schlitterbahn, Moody Gardens at around 3:15. So any moment here. So again, watch that very closely. I'm going to pop velocities back on here and see this as we're going through the morning here, getting ready for the morning news here at 4:30. What's interesting is that they extended this. It looked like the rotation was significant enough, certainly looks like it is, that they went ahead and opted to extend that. But given what we're seeing there, I would not think that that there'd be a tornado out of that at the moment. It looks like the winds are pretty strong in there. Let's sample some of those winds along the leading edge and see just south of Tiki Island. Again, this would be the spot right here where it would be located. At last check winds were 60, 70 miles an hour. There you go, 90 miles per hour. So Travis now popping this up here, showing 90 miles an hour, the latest radar scan there south of Tiki Island. So that is some very, very heavy winds right along the leading edge, just south and west of Galveston. Let's see if that is swinging, if that's swinging through, if it's moving more east or southeast. I think that's going to miss just towards the south. No, it might move right in towards the due east here. I think it might be swinging through, and winds in excess of 80 to almost 90 miles per hour along the leading edge. You can see it right there. A lot of rainfall though as well. So again, this is nothing you're going to be able to see or be outside in. Again, I think lowest central portion of your homes. Stay away from exterior windows and walls as the storm moves through. There you can see just south of the Gulf Freeway, this right in this little area, that little hook right there. If there is any rotation right near the ground, that'd be right where it is, just south of the Gulf Freeway. I wonder if we can zoom in further and pop up any other areas right in there. So yeah, there's Moody Gardens right in here, so you can see the little hook right here. If there's rotation just north of FM 3005, there's Seawall Boulevard, Broadway Street. So the heaviest of winds, almost 90 miles an hour, could be higher than 90, right in this area, just south and west of Broadway. Again, as that moves towards the east and northeast, that tornado warning continues. 62, 66 miles an hour being pinged up on our radar site right there.
That's true velocity.
That's true velocity coming in. Travis is reporting here from our Doppler radar. So at least winds of 66, 70 miles an hour, very close in this. There you go, 70 miles an hour. So again, that's just west of Moody Gardens where this leading edge is. They've opted to extend that tornado warning until 3:30 here. So we have another few minutes to go to watch and see where this goes. Good news is it has moved and progressed pretty quickly towards the coastline. But right now, south of Tiki Island, you're away from the main center of it now, but still some very heavy winds moving through for you at this point as well, where we stand right now. Tornado warning continues until 3:30. This includes just a portion of Galveston County, just south of the Gulf Freeway. It does include Galveston. There are probably sirens going off, I would imagine, at this time at 3:30. So that may have, some of you may have been awakened by that. 65 mile an hour winds along the leading edge here. That's true velocity. Could see some spots perhaps up. We've been sampling maybe 80, 90 miles an hour. So this is a very strong line of winds here. Looks like that's the only tornado warning left now, including Galveston, back up towards Tiki Island. In the pink there, that's your tornado warning. The other warnings are severe thunderstorm warnings, back to the west, flood advisories, and flash flood warnings. But this is our main intense line as it moves towards the coastline. Again, we said there'd be a marginal tornado risk with this. And again, remember the tornado watch earlier this evening until 9 o'clock. The dynamics were supportive for a few isolated tornadoes, but it looks like things really came into play once these really neared the Gulf. When we saw those winds out of the south really rush in, and we started to see some of that warm air intersecting this front, the cooler air. So certainly looks like there's probably a lot of rain and thunder now approaching Galveston. So again, this is moving very quickly. It looks like things have kind of bowed out here just a little bit. I don't know. That's a close call, Travis. What do you think there?
Yeah, I think we're seeing widespread straight line winds.
Yeah, straight line winds here. Right. I think straight line winds here. There was a point there when they reissued the warning about 5 minutes ago where it looked like it was kind of tightening up there briefly. But good news is it looks like straight line winds here as opposed to an actual tornado. But Moody Gardens, Galveston still be ready for winds up to 60 miles an hour, maybe plus, maybe 60, 65 miles an hour. So still need to regard this storm, respect this storm as it moves through. I would stay away from exterior windows and walls as this moves towards the east. Broadway Street, Avenue P, Pleasure Pier, Seawall Boulevard, all of you going to see these winds in just a moment here if you're not already. Along the leading edge of it, there you go, 60 mile an hour winds, 63. So as this moves towards the east, again, heavy winds. Also getting reports of a lot of lightning, very heavy rain in this as well. Looks like a new update from the Weather Service.
Storm Prediction Center is saying they're probably not going to reissue a watch.
Okay, so no new watch coming for us. So good news there. No new tornado or thunderstorm watches. The severe thunderstorm watch was expired about an hour ago. So as this main line reaches the coastline, remember, this is it for the main severity and the main intensities. I think once this moves towards the coastline, our attention shifts to just the rain that has yet to fall and that is still falling across the area. But as this main line reaches the coastline, looks like Galveston, those really heavy winds are going to move through within 10 to 15 minutes. And then you're going to see moderate to heavy rainfall along with this thunderstorm activity. Travis is putting a track on it now. Looks like, again, Moody Gardens here at 318, Galveston 319, and Strand at 321. So really right now and within the next 2 to 3 minutes. So once that moves through, it looks like straight line winds. Looks like we're probably going to be clear. So zooming out a little bit more, we're going to get a wider picture. You can see that tornado warning continues until 3:30. Likely seeing some alerts on your phones, those really noisy alerts on your smartphone or iPhone that are very loud, indicating tornado warning. Good news is, looks like now it's straight line winds, but still stay away from exterior windows and walls. If there were the sirens that went off a little while ago, it looked a little bit more like it could have produced a tornado. Not so much now. So again, that main line moving off, that's the really intense line, as you can see. Back to the west now, more moderate rainfall starting to move in, but nowhere near the severity that we saw with that main line. So if another warning is issued, we'll break right in for you. Other than that, our next updates are coming up on the morning news starting at 4:30. Facebook Live, we've been on that all morning, and Twitter as well. As things change and adapt, we're going to be posting there, again, any new warnings and alerts. But at this point forward, I would expect this tornado warning to expire and for us to be done after these severe thunderstorm warnings expire. So good news there. I think the rest of the morning we're going to be dealing with rain, and there are a lot of slick spots and some ponding on the road. So please be cautious as you're driving tomorrow morning. Take it carefully. There has been some decent amount of rainfall that has fallen in spots, but we're not too concerned overall about more than minor street flooding. So again, if anything changes, we're going to come break right in and give you an update. But at this point, I expect the next update to come from your morning news at 4:30. More updates to come from the ABC13 News app and Facebook Live as well. But if there are any major break-ins like this for a tornado warning, we'll come right on the air. But as of right now, it looks like straight line winds have moved through, and I think we're going to be just about finished with this after those move through in just a few minutes. So we're going to return you to programming, and we'll have more updates at 4:30 on the morning news.